You know what? I just got out of the shower, but we're gonna do this anyway, just right now, because, you know, it's it's about, everything that happened in the last couple of weeks, and ultimately the fate of this channel. And those of you who are subscribed to this channel, I'm sure you want to be here for this, so sit down and take a listen. I promise I'm not gonna rattle on for a long ass time about shit that you genuinely don't care about. But I am gonna tell you what went down, regarding things that you didn't see in regards to the channel, and why I pulled like 90% of my content. Because you'll notice, if you actually look at the list of videos, I didn't just pull the Mark and Lixian compilations. I pulled everything, or almost everything. I pulled all but, like, was it 5 videos? I think it was 5 videos. Anyway, the reason I pulled that content is because, well, there's a few reasons. Primarily was because of how quickly this channel exploded. At first I was very happy about it. At first I was really excited that, like, so many people, were joining my channel, and I still am happy to have people on this channel. What bothers me about that is how obsessive I became over the numbers, the analytics, the how many hits I was receiving, how many comments I was receiving, and that's on me. That's on me. Because there's an obsessive corner of my brain that tends to overanalyze everything. And I find that a lot of the time the best results I receive are the ones where I go with my gut and I go with my heart rather than my brain. Because it was my brain that got me into this mess, honestly. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here, so give me a sec. Ultimately, the reason those compilations were created in the first place, it was a couple of reasons. One was because it was just a thing I wanted to do. I was learning my editing suite, and I needed something to practice on, and what better way to practice than material that's actually of good quality, that I don't have to guzzy up in some way, that I can just, like, chop down as needed. And the second was, I had 16 subscribers at the time that I uploaded part 1 of that series. I genuinely did not expect for it to blow up the way it did. I mean, because there's so much stuff about Markiplier, that you could, like, get lost in it for the longest time, and I put that compilation together just because one of my friends on Tumblr was like, oh, why, I would love to see something that's just all Mark and Lixian, yada yada. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. Why don't I do that? And then, I could post it up there, and, my friends will be happy, and, they'll go about their day. It wasn't intended for a truly massive audience, because I didn't have one at the time, So, I mean, and the fact that everything exploded so suddenly and then basically imploded, that was something I was not prepared for. I don't think anybody is. Nobody is prepared for the possibility of going viral. And, I mean, you sitting there in the comments might in theory think, oh, that sounds great. You went viral. You're huge. Yeah, except the thing about going viral is that it doesn't last. You're there for a moment, and then the popularity is gone. And that is something I did not want for me, because it's the antithesis of what I really want to do in terms of my career. And I haven't really spoken about my career to you guys beyond hinting at it in my video about perfectionism, that I'm a writer. And that's really where my passion lies, in my writing. And it's and I've come to realize, and I've like I said, I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last couple of days, that as much as I love gaming and as much as I love playing games, I was never fully comfortable in front of the camera while playing a game. It feels very voyeuristic for me. It feels very, very strange. And I admire Markiplier and all the other gamers immensely who can be that comfortable in front of a camera while also being occupied with this other activity. But that's not me. At the end of the day, I am at heart a storyteller. I have stories to tell. Stories that don't rely on the stories of other people necessarily. Although I have written a good deal of fan fiction. You can find me on AO3, no problem. But I've also written a lot of original work as well. So, and that's what I want to be recognized for. I don't want somebody to look at me and say, she's just a fan who compiles funny and does funny little edits, and she comments on stuff, and that's pretty much it. I don't want people to think that way about me. I want people to realize that I have my own vision, my own stories to tell, and I have a lot of them. There are entire worlds in my head, and that's something that I don't think many of you realized when you signed up, when you subscribed to this channel, that I am a storyteller at heart. But the good news is that a number of things that I have been doing will be released sooner than you think. Not just in terms of my writing, but also I also have music as kind of a side gig where I produce music. So I am going to tell you now about the things I've been working on. There's actually six projects that I'm working on, and 4 that I can actually talk about right now because they're far enough along to discuss them. The first of these is going to take a slight explanation, because in 2015, on August 20th, 2015, I released a poetry collection, 100 poems that I had written, called Apocryphal Musings. I don't know how well you can see that, but hopefully you'll be able to at least read the title in front of my face. Well, this book that I compiled of my poetry, all my poetry, completely mine, and it's nearly 200 pages long, so they're not exactly short poems. I am working on completing the audiobook for the 5th anniversary of the release of this poetry collection. So next month, on August 20th, you will be able to find Apocryphal Musings in audiobook form at Audible and wherever else you can find, audiobooks. The second is coming sometime in September. Sometime in September, just as everybody's hopefully going back to school. If not in real life, then online. You never know with everything that's going on right now. But sometime in September, I will have an audio trailer available for the science fiction drama podcast I'm writing called Ark One. It will be written and performed and produced completely by me. All original material, although obviously because I'm a huge sci-fi fan, there's a lot of inspiration from stuff like the new Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek and so on and so forth. But the story of Ark One is about a woman who is an engineer. She's an engineer in a spaceship that is one of several spaceships carrying the last remnants of humanity. Like I said, new Battlestar, very similar. She recently woke up from cryostasis very early, and and she, and part of it is going to be exploring why she was woken up so early. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very much looking forward to finally releasing that trailer. I'm going to be spending most of August just feverishly writing scripts. The scripts are, I hope, to be about 15-20 minutes in length for each episode. Basically not that long of an episode, but long enough to, have plot and be interesting. So I don't know how, and this is going to be like season 1 basically, so I don't know how many episodes in the season are there's going to be. I don't know how many seasons there will be in the long run, but this will be the start of something, that will be going on for a very, very long time. And the third thing is a music project I'm working on, and it is called Winter Cold Night. The main artist is my mother, Cindy Joyce Treglia, and I am producing it for her. We've come up with a sound that I think is completely different from anything anybody's ever heard. Has a very cinematic style, kind of like what you hear with film trailers. Not the film trailer music by itself, but actually the actual trailers. Like, watch a trailer and close your eyes, and that's kind of the basic idea of what we're doing with this. It's very cinematic, but at the same time very pop and folk, and it's a very dark Christmas album, but it's going to have a journey to it, so it's not going to be all darkness, all misery. So otherwise that'd be one very long album. So yeah, that will be released in November of this year. And finally, the fourth project that I can talk to you about is the sequel to Griffin Unbowed, my novel. I don't know how well you can see that. I hope you can see that, but yeah. This big, thick boy is getting a sequel, and it should be available sometime next year. I don't know when, because we're still working on it very early. I was working on it earlier with my co-author, Nicole Harvell, and we're like on chapter 4 in terms of the editing and rewrites. So yeah, it's a little early in the game to say when it's going to be released, but most likely is the second half of 2021. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And like I said, there's 2 other projects I'm working on in addition to that, but it's too vague right now to mention when those are going to be possible. I mean, because they're like really, yeah, we're too early. I'm too early into those. So yeah, if you're actually interested in what I can do and what I have planned as a writer, as a content creator, then by all means stay tuned, because I'm gonna try and upload once a week now, once a week on Thursdays, because Thursday seems like a good day to do uploads. So, but I'm not going to do twice a week, because that is another thing that got me into this in the first place. I became very weird and obsessive about that, and started to panic about releasing everything on time. So once a week will be the regular uploads, and any additional things like teasers and for my projects and whatnot will be released outside of the regular Thursday uploads. So now that you know what's going on with this channel, then you have a chance to decide for yourself if you really want to stay subscribed to this channel. It's subscribed to see more, and if you don't, that's fine. You have my blessing. to click unsubscribe and to find someone whose channel appeals more to you. But this is, instead of, crawling into a hole and basically crying over it, I'm going to use this time to, become the creator I really want to be, rather than relying on anybody else or any little shtick. So like I said, if you like, if you like good writing and, just want to know, like, all sorts of different stuff, like what I've been doing, in terms of, fan material I've created, in terms of original material I've created, so on and so forth, as well as talking about other stuff, like there's videos I have planned, like there's still the video about transformative works I want to do. There's also someone asked me about the comparison between Creative Commons license and a copyright, what the difference between those is. So I'll probably do a video on that. And like I said, there's going to be more trailers and teasers and stuff coming down the pike, especially because some of the release dates of some of my material are coming very soon. So yeah, I hope you guys, will be looking forward to, the changes in this channel, and I think it's going to be a positive experience for all of us. Also, I did not stutter a whole ton in this video. I am so proud of myself. I'm no longer so immensely awkward, so that's the one good thing that's come out of it. I'm living my truth. So I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye!